It feels like just yesterday when I was having a discussion about the possibility of Chapter 3, and here we are, a little less than a year later, discussing the possibility of Chapter 4 coming out next season. So yeah, here we go, let's talk about it. So pretty much this whole thing stemmed from a leak that we got a little before this season actually launched, saying that we would get a brand new map for Chapter 3 Season 5. Here's a tweet from FMBR Intel that says, we could be getting a brand new map for Chapter 3 Season 5 as they're testing a brand new map codenamed Asteria for Season 5. Other previous map codenames are Athena and Artemis. A lot of leakers speculated that this would be for Creative 2.0, but since the codenames are different, there's a lot of reason to believe that that might not be the case, due to the fact that all the files for Creative 2.0 fall under the codename Valkyrie. So there's a good chance that this isn't for Creative 2.0, but what does that mean? Does that mean that we're getting Chapter 4 next season? Well, let's take a look at what's going on during this season. The season already shares a lot of similarities with Chapter 2 Season 8, which just so happened to be the final season of Chapter 2. So we got this brand new force that is taking over and spreading throughout the island, with a brand new antagonist that seems very, very similar to what we had in Season 8 with the Cube Queen. This season's also taking place around the same time, being pretty much a year after Season 8, and ending around December 4th, which is around the time that Chapter 3 dropped. You also have item descriptions in the Battle Pass that seem very suspicious, like the last light you'll see, the final cut awaits, the nothing is coming. It's very similar to item descriptions that we had in Season 8, seeming to hint at the fact that the chapter would be ending soon. So what do I think? Well, the last time I spoke on something like this, I was completely wrong. During the beginning half of Season 8, I was not convinced that the next season would be Chapter 3. And I gotta say, I'm kinda leaning towards that same opinion when going into this. But I gotta admit, there's a lot of evidence pointing to the fact that this could be the case, with the leak of a new map being the biggest of them all. But the thing is, if it were 2023 right now, I would be completely convinced. But the fact is, it's still 2022 and we're only on Season 4 of this chapter. Which means if this chapter were to end on December 4th, that would mean this chapter would have only been around for a year. Though I will say it's quite interesting that December 4th is the end date, with Chapter 3 released on December 5th. So it would be exactly 1 year after the release of Chapter 3. So yeah, it does really seem like all evidence is pointing towards Chapter 4 being next season, but it just seems way too soon. But does that matter to Fortnite? Does that matter to Epic Games? I don't know. A lot of people are also pointing out the fact that this seems like the end of a culmination between Chapter 1 and 2's story, wrapping up the storyline of the 7 and the last reality in a nice little bow. And while I'd love to believe that Fortnite would do that, I feel like ending the story here might be too much of a risk for killing off all the hype that it's gained up to this point. And it would feel really weird if Chapter 3's only purpose was to just wrap up Chapter 1 and 2's story, when it seems they put a lot of effort into making this brand new map and all these new seasons for it. So would Epic put all the effort into making Chapter 3 only to throw it away a year later? Honestly, I really hope not. I don't think a chapter lasting a year is nearly long enough. When Chapter 2 was rumored to be ending, I really only didn't believe it just because I felt like it had been too soon, but if you think about it, that chapter lasted longer than Chapter 1, and honestly, I was kind of ready for that chapter to be over, so I was kind of hoping it would be ending, I just didn't really believe it would. Now we have a case where I kind of believe it might be, but I just really don't want it to. And again, I'm still really on the fence because I feel like I'm kind of leaning towards more I don't think it's gonna happen, but at the same time, that might just be me hoping it doesn't happen because there's a lot of evidence leading to the fact that it could very much definitely end after this season. The one thing that's making me think that it won't happen is that it's only been a year. But again, does that matter to Epic? I don't know. Would Epic rather have a yearly release for chapters, similar to how games like Call of Duty and Madden release their games yearly? Are they realizing how fast Call of Duty is starting to release their maps? Or do they finally want to host multiple maps at the same time? Epic could take a lot of directions with this, but since we don't really know what their motives are right now, it's kind of hard to say. So yeah, honestly, I'm a little torn. Do I think that we're getting Chapter 4 next season? To be honest with you, I think that we have a decent chance of getting Chapter 4 next season. Do I want it? No. I really don't. So I really hope we don't get Chapter 4 next season, but if we do, I wouldn't be that surprised. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think we're getting Chapter 4 next season? Are you excited for Chapter 4? Do you want Chapter 4? Or do you think Chapter 3 hasn't been out long enough? Let me know in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new because I make videos like this all the time, and you can also use my supporter creator code Bendominator in the Fortnite item shop #ad. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.